Good morning. So, I guess Lucy has some splaining to do. When I started this journey, it wasn't about just go. Sorry, Callie's not cooperating with me. Get it, Callie. But when I started this journey, I started it because I was having no fulfillment in my life whatsoever. I'd been working just to work, working just to live, and I wanted to take control of my life back. So that's what I did. As you know, I sold everything I had, bought a van, and I've been traveling across the country. I didn't do this just to see pretty places or new places, which, I mean, I have, and I'm glad, but that's not why I did it. I did it because I wanted to do some good in the world, even if it was just little small things, or helping people that needed help. And in the midst of all that, as you know, I'm writing a book. I think a lot of people think the book is just about me going to new places or traveling the country or the trouble that I get in or the obstacles that I come across, which, yeah, all fun and dandy, but that's not what the book is about. What the book is about, I have met with, I believe, probably 7 people at this point, who I have met through a lead that somebody has sent me, or that I've just met being there were 2 that I just met at a campground. And these people have overcome some obstacle, or I talked to one that, was really bad into alcohol and drugs and has turned his life around and is making strides just to be a better person and doing good things, and there's a lot more to it, which I haven't shared up until this point, because I want it to be a surprise, but there's stories that inspired me. Yeah, I wanted to get out into the world and maybe help people. Like I said, just very little things, I mean, I'm not going to change the world by any means, but it makes me feel better to do that. And as I had set out to help different people along the way, in all honesty, it's helped me. It's made me a better person. It has shown me that a hangnail isn't worth a bad day. There's a lot of people going through a lot more, and just conquering it, just surviving and changing the way they live because they want to be happy, or because they want to help somebody, or just several reasons. But the reason I'm sharing it with you today is because I want these people. I had met with a couple yesterday, Joshua and Stacy Nearing. Beautiful people. They had lost their daughter in a car accident, and like most people would do, me as a mother, I don't know if that's something I'd ever get over or even want to go on, which, yeah, sad, but I know there's a lot of people out there that feel that way. So they inspired me because they got through their horrific deal in this family tragedy by serving and helping other people who have lost a loved one. And, they all help each other through serving others. And if that's not inspiring, I don't know what is. But they've done a lot of different things. Like I said, I sat down with him yesterday, and from giving away dance scholarships, raising money through a billboard, which I have a picture of, but showing people to no. Hey. No. There's a dog that just no, Callie, stop. No. Hello. No. Quit. No. Callie, stop. Okay, well, hold on. Okay. Sorry about that. There was a dog chasing us. That's where Callie is now. We've experienced that. It's not fun. But anyways, they have done different things, movements, projects, if you will, that have raised money one way or another, or just spread kindness. So as I sat and I spoke to him yesterday, I was just so moved, so inspired. And like I said, you know, I mean, a lot of times it's hard to get out of bed if you've had a bad day or if you have lost a loved one, and they help others and they're able to grieve and just move on based on the things that they do for other people. So as I sat with them yesterday, and again, the reason that I'm sharing this is because I do want to get their word out. They have an organization that is called Survivors. And I'm still scared of that dog. And it's SRVIVRS.org. And like I said, they've done a lot of good things in their community. And he is now, on June 3rd, going to run across the country for a year. And each time it will be a memory of a loved one. And you can actually go to their website, and if you would like him to run in memory of your loved one, you can put in their name and their anniversary, and that particular day he will run for your loved one in memory of them. As I was talking to him yesterday, and I knew their story, and after, you know, sitting 6 months on my butt in the van, I've started exercising again, and I'm not a runner anymore. You're gonna hear me, I'm breathing hard from walking, but so each time I walk, or I did it the first time, and I'm gonna do it today, and but after reading what he was doing, the last time that I walked in memory of my niece Jessica, and it's powerful, y'all. I didn't want to go around a second time, but I did, because of her, and because I was thinking of her. And he told me yesterday that they know, and I'll stick in a little bit of the interview in here and tell you what exactly he said. If anybody knows me, I'm an emotional girl. Like, my heart is huge, and I feel and I love hard, and so for me not to cry 5 minutes into this meeting is huge. But I tell you, I lost it a little bit at the end. And like I said, I'll share why. But again, like, the main reason that I am sharing this now today, get on their website. They do have a Facebook page. And then Instagram, We Are Survivors, WERSRVIVRS. on Instagram is how you can follow him, as he runs all over the country. His wife and children, they have 5 other children, will be on this mission with him, and they will be traveling in this huge RV. It's bigger than homes I've lived in, but it's beautiful. I'll share a picture of that too. But if you're struggling after losing a loved one and you're not sure how to cope, there's definitely different stages to the grieving process. But if you're ready to move on and start living your life again, these people, I believe, can help you do that. And again, they do it by helping others, and it's a community. They come together to help each other because they're all still grieving. I mean, I don't think you ever get over it. So yeah, check them out. You can donate for a wonderful cause. If you go to my website, I actually started a page as well on Facebook and Instagram. I haven't been pushing it all that much yet because I've been doing 100 other things. But it's Made with Lots of Love. LOTSA Love. And Made with Lots of Love. So you can check out a little bit of their story there as well. There's different organizations there, but for right now, let's focus on survivors.org, SRVIVRS.org, and nothing else. Go there, read their story. I'm not a speaker. It wasn't a Barbara Walters moment yesterday at all, or any time I've ever sat down with anybody and had an interview, what have you. Which is why I write, because I have a hard time, trying to get out what I'm trying to say or to ask questions. But I mean, they were just wonderful. It flowed. The feels were there, their emotions were there, and it was just a beautiful time spent with them. And I even told them at one point, I said, I don't know you, but I am so proud of you, and I truly am. For what they're doing, taking what was so horrific to them and just spreading kindness across the world, to help others. And on the page Made with Lots of Love, I'm probably going to take it down in the next hour or so, because after I left them yesterday, and in something that we spoke about when I was speaking with them, is that, if each person, you don't have to do it every day, although you should, but every week, once a month, you did one kind thing for another individual. I mean, don't you do kind things for your friends all the time, your family, your work family? How about you reach out and go beyond that and do something nice for a stranger? Just anybody that's in need. And like I said, I mean, that's one of the things that I wanted to do, and I don't even know what they think of me anymore. Not that I've done a lot, but I think of them every day. And like I said, as I was trying to help them, it had the total opposite effect. They've in turn helped me. Like I said, I'm a better person because I met these people. And so, again, just be nice, be kind. If you can help somebody, help them. Don't turn your back. And just think, I mean, if we all did this, like I said, just a little bit, even if it's once a month, you freaking open the door for someone. I know one of the things that I saw the other day, it was on a page that Stacey Nearing was actually, she was talking to the lady that organized it, and it's lighttheworld.org. And she was talking about how she was at a nursing home and they left change on the vending machine so somebody could get something to drink or a snack to eat. Little things like opening the door for someone. Sending a card to someone that you think, may need it. These things make a huge difference in people's lives. And like I said, I'm no saint. And, we know that. I'm not perfect, but no one is. But you know what? Each day I try a little bit harder to do good things. And I'm going to continue to do it. You can try it. You'll feel better, I promise. But again, like I said, I'll post some of the picture and a little bit of the video that I got for them yesterday. And yes, their story will definitely be in the book. No doubt about it. No doubt about it, because their journey, their tragedy turned just full of love and light, should be shared. So yeah, they'll definitely be there. Come on, Callie. Sorry, she's not being cooperative again. So yeah, so check them out, srvivrs.org. You can read a little more about their story there. You can read a little more about what they've done in their community and outward since the death of their daughter. And like I said, they're a beautiful couple. There's her sister Shannon also lost a child within 3 years after Joshua and Stacy had lost their daughter, Lily. And so it wasn't only a couple's tragedy, it was a family tragedy. And they're all out there just making the world a better place. And you should too. So here's a little bit. That's some of the stuff I've been up to. That's some of the stuff you should start doing. Like I said, if you get a minute today, check out their website. We are going on June 3rd. That's when Joshua will start his run across country, which he'll be stopping at every capital. People can meet him there and run with him, walk with him, bike with him. And like I said, in support and memory of a loved one. So check it out. And I'll be documenting that too. I'm not going beyond the mile. but I'm moving now. And each time I do it, because of them, I'm going to move in memory of a loved one. And I'm proud to do so. And I'm proud I met them. And I'm glad I met them. And you should look them up too. Talk to you soon. Mwah.
Things you can do to try and bring light into the world.
Right. Yeah. And again, that was something that resonated with me too, because if each person just did something, imagine the world we live in. It'd be a different world.
Yeah, it is a different world. We might not see it all the time, but it is absolutely.
Yeah. Or hear about it all the time.
Yeah, because it is different for those people that are touched or influenced.
Yeah. Right. You were actually talking about doing some sort of charity or organization before trauma hit your family, obviously.
Yeah, so February of 2017 for me, I had about a 6-week period in my life where just lots of ideas came very strongly for a little while about starting some kind of an organization that promoted doing good. One of my favorite songs growing up is "Have I Done Any Good in the World Today?" It's a church hymn. It's one of my favorites, and so I've got journal entries where I wrote down, establish some type of organization that goes about doing good or helping people do good or recording good acts or something to spread good and to make a difference, kind of what you just described for yourself. And then it just disappeared. Like it just totally left, and I was kind of left wondering, like, whoa, what was that about? because it was intense for like 6 weeks. And then that spring is when our daughter Lily came to us and said that she had won an essay, and which we didn't even know she entered, but the essay was about the 4-way test for Rotary, which talked about ways to do good. And so her essay is, the nature of it is kind of asking yourself those questions. Have I done anything? What kind of service have I done to help somebody today? And then that was kind of a prepper for, we always felt like it was kind of like her last little letter or last invitation of what we could do. And then before she passed away, there's a little chalkboard. I guess you gave her sayings to write on there. And she was practicing calligraphy, and one of the last sayings that she wrote on the board was, "You find what you look for the good." So those things kind of, for me, were definitely, whether they're divinely choreographed or however they came about, and they were foundational for me to know, kind of have a lot of motivation to move forward in that way.
Yeah.
For you, did you have any?
Beforehand?
Like,
Yeah, I'm sure. I know I read on the website that after you lost Lily, within 3 years, your sister also lost a child.
Yeah.
Had you started the organization at that point, or did it come after?
We'd been doing Live Like Lily
Okay.
ever since, like 3 months after
Yeah.
she passed. We started like the dance scholarship. So
Mm-hmm.
want to tell her about what Living Clearly is?
Sure. So my sisters asked, like after Lily passed, asked what they could do to help, and then Josh said Live Like Lily, because she was an old soul. Like teachers in elementary school would be like, it's fun to have Lily in here because it's like I'm talking to an adult. So she just had that, I guess, maturity even at that young age, and she just was so kind and was always looking for ways to help others. So, and then it was just like all these ideas came. The first being the dance scholarship. We wanted to empower you through service, like you are empowered when you serve others, you know. So we wanted to provide a dance scholarship for those who couldn't afford it. So we partnered with her dance studio, Prima Dance, and they had already partnered with Girls Inc., which is Youth and Family Services for the girls, kind of like Boys Club for girls. And so we partnered together, and the kids that were interested in getting a dance scholarship wrote essays, answered essay questions, and then we picked, so it was us and Prima and her point teacher who were wanting to get a scholarship. So we went, and the girls at Prima Dance, they performed for the girls, and then we announced the scholarship winners. And then afterwards, there was 3 more families of the actual Prima Dancers. They came up to us and said, we want to give too. So that see good, do good, share good was like perfectly illustrated there. So instead of 3, there was 6 that night. And then we've given 27 since. So it's been really, really cool. And then we've done a Day of Kindness. That was another idea. And I believe these ideas came from Lily, and she just was like, go mom, go do it, you know? Yeah. And this was the idea of getting all the middle schools to do acts of kindness, just focus on kindness for a day, and then get a corporate sponsor to pay $1 per act of kindness, and the kids put their acts of kindness on sticky notes and like put them all over the windows or the walls of their school, and acts that they've done or received, and then they got to pick a nonprofit to give those kindness dollars to. So not only like were they given or gave an act of kindness, it even perpetuated further, and that's really what kindness does.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it was a nonprofit here in our community, which kind of gave them the opportunity to know that it's impacting where they live.
Yeah, to date there's over 27,000 acts, so that's really, really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, and I went one time for the whole day. We kind of go around to the schools, see what they're doing, and I just went to North Middle School, or was it South Middle School, and it was during the 8th grade lunch, and she's like, do you want to say something? I said sure, and I just started, kind of telling a little bit about why we were doing it. And then one kid comes up and he just says, "Thank you so much for doing this. It changed us. It changed our school. And it felt so nice."
Yeah.
And I knew when he said it felt so nice, like he felt it, like he would never forget it. You don't forget those kind of things,
Of course.
So he was changed, and I like to think that there's a lot more.
Yeah.
So that's cool. And then we've done the lookup ad, which Lily never had a phone. And I feel like she just lived her life to the full. She was always like a full body experience with everything, but she just was, she was just so happy. And I just said, I think it was like on my Facebook, it popped up about iGen and just the epidemic of phones and the younger generation.
Yeah.
And so I just created this look up Life Exists Beyond Your Phone with the middle schools again. They could create a poster with that theme. And so, and then the winner went on a billboard and there was cash prizes and different things. So I just wanted them to think about their phone usage. So they come up with like a picture and a catchy phrase. This year's was look up.
What you did, you just served and noticed that made you feel better. Or,
yeah. Definitely like in the lowest of lows, you're in this such a dark place. But then when we did that first dance scholarship, that was in December, so it was 3 months after she'd passed. And I was at the highest of highs. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Because here I was, but when I was able to like see their faces, the girls' faces, and like tears, like that's been their dream forever to dance, and now they can dance,
Yeah.
So,
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah, healing too.
Yeah.
And our children, if you, particularly the older ones, have a more mature sense of it, and but it's changed them, and when you talk to them or you hear the conversations that they have, they've been affected positively by the service that either they've been engaged in or that they've observed.
Sure.
And what Stacy and I have been doing, and they saw this concept of trying to advocate living for their children and living in service for the children. Like that was, oh my gosh, there's a light, and they like saw a new horizon,
Right.
and they found a purpose, and they've all, like, that's now their focus for their living. It doesn't take away all the other pain, it doesn't do that, but it does give you a horizon to shoot for, and that to me has probably been the most fulfilling or most gratifying part about Survivors, is seeing people find hope through that concept of seeing good and doing good and sharing good.
Yeah.
And that's really that see good, do good, share good really is surrounding yourself in service. You have a service-minded vision, you have a service-minded actions, and you have a service-minded community. You share that with people.
Right. In the midst of your own tragedy, I mean, I see that as totally selfless. Like, I think what you're doing is absolutely beautiful. And it not only shows like who you are as individuals, but even I read on the website about Lily was supposed to graduate last year, correct? And a girl had contacted you and said that Lily used to compliment her all the time, and now she compliments others
AJ.
because of it.
Yes.
Yes,
AJ
that gave me
Clark.
chills.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was like a gift, like a graduation gift. And then I have shared.
You're standing up now.
And then I like shared that at the middle schools.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things, just to speak to the middle schools. And I shared that, and I was like, "You guys, you never know. Like, here was a girl struggling, and then I messaged her. I was sharing her story, and she's like, and I still do it in college, and that's how I found most of my friends. Isn't that so cool? I was like, oh.
Yeah.
So but again, it's just one simple act, and I mean, it's just spreading. And, she continues, and it's awesome.
I like when we have the opportunity to share, because it causes me to reflect a little bit more on things. One of the things that you just said reminded me is every little bit makes a difference. It's a ripple. These are water terms in Josh's head. And the month before Lily passed away, I had the chance to go and hike it for a week in the Tetons with a group of young men, 14 to 18-year-olds through church. And that experience changed my life, and it was kind of a bookend a little bit, if you will, to that all those thoughts for good that I was having before the February before. We were up on top of the Tetons, and it was midsummer, July, and the snow up there was just starting to melt in some of the places we were getting water. So we were filling our canteens from these little dripping or small little streams right from the snow. And we hiked down out of the Tetons the last day, and we came down into Teton Village. And to get there, you went down a canyon where there's this raging river. I mean, if we were talking, you would have to elevate your voice quite a bit to hear one another. And it just floored me, overwhelmed me, that all of that raging river was coming from those little drops on the very top. Seemingly innocent, seemingly insignificant for sure, and just barely enough. We had to wait for it to fill our canteen up, it's
Right.
a couple, 40 ounces or something. If you just touched your thing in the river for half a second there, it would be downstream. You would just take it away, it'd be full instantly. And I remember in that moment, I certainly felt like that's what things do, good or bad. Little things add up to very big things. And that was a package in my brain that was, holy smokes, we really can change the world just one drop of goodness at a time, one smile at a time, one opening of the doors, one buying of a meal for somebody, whatever it might do, one kind gesture. And that's what Lily's essay kind of captured too, a little bit. And that's, as we see people, families join us with survivors, I see drops of water, and I see them adding to something greater and bigger. And that's really the impetus of why we're doing this Black Pearl project, is to raise awareness and to start survivors chapters across the country so that we can increase the flow of goodness, increase
Like
the
roaring river.
yeah.
Yeah.
One drop at a time, one person at a service project we were doing 1 month or something. Anyway, so I was moving in memory for Jean, and let me take one step back. One thing that I've learned over the last several years is that when we remember those who have passed on, they know it. I don't know exactly how all that works, but I know they know it for sure. And then if we go and do something with that thought of that person by name, and we go and do good, they find great fulfillment. It's like they get to be part of this physical world. They don't have a physical body anymore, but they get to be, it's like we're their hands or feet, or we're like their instruments or messengers to go and do good. And so it's cool. That's something that there's some type of synergy there. I don't know quite how to say it other than that. So I'm running for Jeannie, and I try and thinking about Jeannie, and I knew her as a patient. Amazing woman. She died with the most grace I've ever witnessed. It was absolutely beautiful. She prepared her family for her loss. It was so amazing. She prepared her family for her absence in the most beautiful, admirable, and just joyous and faithful way. She really just touched me and changed me the way that I saw her do that. And as I was running for her, the idea came to me that you need to do this every day in 2022. Find somebody to run for every day in 2022. We call it Move in Memory. So I, probably in November, late November or something, I started trying to solicit people to send me names of people that had passed away. And we got a few, but I ended up just Googling most of them through that year and trying to find somebody every day to move in memory on the day that they passed.
Yeah.
And that year, wow, that changed my whole life. I'm not Bruce Willis in Sixth Sense, but but I am definitely here to tell you that when you think about somebody by name, there's an opportunity to connect. And a few of the times that I was running in memory of people, there were powerful connections. And it invited me into learning about people's stories and people's lives. And I became so humbled by how many of the stories that I read about, people had crises in their life, and then that crisis transformed them into something amazing and beautiful. And it's not a new pattern, but I guess I just was oblivious to how richly people can be blessed if they take that irritant in their life, if you will, or that hard thing that comes into their life, and if they embrace it, or they use it as a catalyst to become great. And so that year was, and Jeannie that night, she said, this will be foundational for something. You don't need to worry about it, but just do it. It's
Pairs of shoes do you think you're going to get?
We estimate somewhere between
Oh, you thought about it.
Oh, yeah. Somewhere
So-
between 40 and 50.
Wow.
Black Hills Running Company, they're sponsoring Josh for shoes.
Awesome.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they've
A
covered
pair
all
a
my
week,
shoes.
that's a lot of shoes.
Yeah. Yeah. You're running capital, and you're on Instagram. We are survivors. It's how you're going to follow, or how we can follow.
Yeah.
Correct. All right. People can meet you at the Capitol and run with you, bike with you.
Yeah.
You can go like marathon distance, half marathon, 10K, 5K, 1 mile, whatever you
Right.
want to do.
Right.
And we'll be live tracked by Street Ferret.
Okay.
They've partnered with Strava, so it's not on our website yet, but it will be.
Okay.
They're just
Yeah, I saw
getting
that you
those.
updated it. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh, you did see that.
I
good stuff.
did.
So you saw it before and the after.
I did.
What do you think?
I love it.
Is it more helpful?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah.
And even that, Lori, is people, 3 phrases that people have told us consistently since this came to our minds is, you're crazy, you're insane, or that's psycho. Those are the 3 phrases. And if you look at the definition of those, none of those are good things.
That's what they all told me when I sold everything I had and got a van. So
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's great.
Yeah. Welcome to the psycho club.
Yay.
As you boil it down, and I can take one more step. It might hurt the next step, but I can do it. And I bet if I take that step, I'm sure that I'm going to be able to take another step. Because you just proved that you just had a little victory.
Yeah.
You took that step that you didn't want to take. It hurt, but you took it. And you're successful. And now you set yourself up to take the next step.
Yeah.
So I think there's some symbolism in that for this journey, to let people know that, one, if Josh Nearing, who has hated running most of his life, can run and do this, we all can take one more step towards healing.
Yeah.
One more step towards seeing a little different, doing a little bit different things in our lives and sharing more. That's.
Well, if you could share anything with the world, what would you tell them? I mean, especially if they're coping with a loss.
Yeah.
And I don't know. That was a tough one.
I know my answer.
Well, I would definitely say, it's going to be so hard, like the hardest thing you'll ever do. But as you find a way to have your daughter or your husband's name live on in service, you will find like that joy and that goodness again. Like, it will take time, and there's, I still have my moments and I still miss my daughter like crazy, but it's just, it becomes a beautiful gift, like Josh was saying, like transforming your grief into a gift. It really does. And it's a miracle, because I never thought that that could ever happen. I thought I would just be in the fetal position, you know, which I was at moments, but just for a very long time in a very dark place, which I experienced all of that. But the hope that he talked about is there, you know, like that light, and being able to experience that high that service gives you, and to know that people are remembering Lily, even if they never knew her, they are thinking about this girl named Lily who was kind. So that's what's the beautiful thing for me.
And I kind of implicitly shared it with those two things that I found. One, they know that they are being thought about, and two, it gives them great fulfillment. But really the message of that is they're not dead. They are so not dead. They're very alive. They've just graduated. They've just changed form in terms of they don't have this fleshy tabernacle, but they are very, very much alive. And when you remember them, if you get occasionally those doors opening up of connection, you know they're not dead. And that, for me, that has been like, wow. Talk about hope.
Yeah.
Talk about like Stacy talks to the youth, leaving your legacy. Wow, we have such tremendous opportunity while we're here, and they want us to live good lives and make good decisions. They know we're human, and we make mistakes, but knowing that they're not dead, and that therefore we don't die, really, we just move on to a different phase. So that's, in essence, not to scale, but that's in essence the capitals, all the capitals that we've been going to, and the direction.
Yeah.